Welcome to Daily Global Motivation, the place where mindset meets muscle, where discipline becomes destiny, and where the fire inside you grows stronger with every word you hear. Today's message is inspired by a man who rose from nothing, homeless, broke, rejected, and uncertain, yet transformed himself into one of the most unstoppable forces in the world, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. This message is for anyone who has ever felt defeated, discouraged, overlooked, underestimated, or broken. This is for every person who feels like they're starting from zero and wonders whether greatness is still possible. Stay until the very end, because what you are about to hear may become the turning point of your entire life. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to Daily Global Motivation so you never miss another message that pushes, ignites, and elevates your purpose. Smash that like button if you're ready to build discipline, strength, and unstoppable energy. Drop a comment sharing what you're fighting for, because declaring it makes it real. And share this message with someone who needs power, encouragement, and courage today. Now take a breath, straighten your shoulders, and step into this moment with full presence, because your transformation into an unstoppable force begins right now. Becoming unstoppable like the rock begins with embracing your rock bottom, because rock bottom is the solid foundation on which you rebuild your life. Dwayne Johnson lost everything: his dreams, his home, his money, yet he chose to rise anyway. You must accept that your lowest moments are not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter. Rock bottom strips away ego and reveals your true strength. You must stop seeing struggle as punishment and start seeing it as preparation. Hardship shapes your resilience, sharpens your focus, and strengthens your spirit. You must stand firm even when life tries to push you down. Your future is built from the strength you discover in your hardest moments. Rock bottom is not the place you stay. It's the place you launch from. You must rise with determination, even when fear whispers that you can't. You must trust that everything you've lost is making space for everything you're about to gain. And once you embrace your rock bottom, you become unstoppable, because you have nothing left to lose and everything left to build. Becoming unstoppable requires mastering discipline, because discipline creates the results motivation cannot. The Rock didn't build his body, career, or mindset through motivation, he built it through relentless, daily discipline. You must understand that discipline is stronger than emotion, stronger than excuses, and stronger than circumstance. Discipline means showing up whether you feel like it or not. You must wake up with purpose and end the day with effort. Discipline teaches your mind to obey your mission instead of your mood. You must build routines that support your greatness. Discipline rewires your identity. It proves to you that you are trustworthy, capable, and committed. Every disciplined action strengthens your belief in yourself. You must embrace discipline as a lifestyle, not an occasional effort. And once discipline becomes who you are, nothing in the world can stop you from rising. Becoming unstoppable begins with choosing a mission, because a mission gives you direction, focus, and purpose. Dwayne Johnson didn't just want to survive, he wanted to build a life of meaning, power, and impact. You must choose a mission so powerful that it pulls you forward even when life tries to hold you back. A mission gives your struggle purpose. You must know what you're fighting for, why it matters, and what it will take to achieve it. A mission sharpens your mind and strengthens your spirit. You must commit to a goal that scares you, inspires you, and challenges you. Without a mission, life feels empty. With a mission, life becomes unstoppable. You must let your mission guide your decisions, your actions, and your habits. And once your mission becomes your driving force, you rise with a level of power others cannot understand. Becoming unstoppable requires transforming pain into fuel, because your pain carries the energy you need to rise. The Rock took every disappointment, every loss, every broken dream, and converted it into unstoppable momentum. You must learn to use your pain as power. Pain teaches you what matters. Pain forces you to grow. Pain builds emotional and mental strength. You must allow your struggle to push you instead of paralyze you. The same pain that tried to break you can become the force that rebuilds you. You must embrace your hurt with courage, process it with honesty, and convert it into action. When you channel pain into purpose, your fire becomes unstoppable. And once you learn to transform pain into power, nothing can weaken your spirit again. Becoming unstoppable requires developing unbreakable confidence, because confidence is the belief that you can rise regardless of circumstances. Dwayne Johnson did not start confident, he built confidence through effort, repetition, and resilience. You must stop waiting for confidence to appear and start earning it through action. Confidence grows every time you show up for yourself. You must take steps forward even when you feel afraid. Confidence comes from consistency, not luck. You must trust in your ability to learn, adapt, and overcome. Confidence is not arrogance, it is alignment with your strength. You must affirm your worth, protect your mindset, and celebrate your progress. And once confidence becomes your foundation, you walk into every challenge with unstoppable force. Becoming unstoppable requires committing to self-belief even when the world doubts you, because belief begins within you, not around you. The Rock was told he wasn't good enough, strong enough, or talented enough, but he refused to internalize those lies. You must learn to believe in yourself even when no one else does. Self-belief is a choice, not a feeling. You must choose to trust your potential even when results are not visible. Belief shapes your attitude, your actions, and your destiny. You must develop a belief so strong that failure cannot break it. You must speak to yourself with power, courage, and optimism. And once self-belief becomes your daily decision, no external doubt can shake your ambition. Becoming unstoppable requires mastering consistency, because consistency turns effort into excellence and dreams into reality. Dwayne Johnson didn't train hard. Occasionally, he trained hard every single day. You must treat consistency as a sacred promise to yourself. Consistency compounds results. You must show up even on days when you feel tired, discouraged, or uninspired. Consistency builds momentum. Momentum builds mastery. Mastery builds greatness. You must commit to steady progress instead of chasing perfection. Every consistent step strengthens your identity. And once consistency becomes your lifestyle, success becomes inevitable. Becoming unstoppable requires building a warrior mindset, because a warrior mindset prepares you to fight for your dreams with strength, courage, and conviction. The Rock built his mindset in silence, struggle, and discipline long before the world saw his victories. You must train your mind to stay strong under pressure. A warrior mindset means choosing courage over fear. It means fighting for your goals, even when the world says you can't. You must prepare mentally for the battles you'll face. You must strengthen your resilience, sharpen your focus, and fuel your determination. A warrior mindset gives you the power to endure, to rise, and to overcome. And once you develop this mindset, the world cannot stop your mission. Becoming unstoppable requires embracing extreme ownership, because ownership gives you control over your destiny. Dwayne Johnson took responsibility for his failures, his circumstances, and his future, and that responsibility became his power. You must stop blaming circumstances, people, or luck for where you are. Ownership means claiming your power. You must accept that your life is shaped by your actions, not excuses. Ownership shifts you from victim to victor. You must take full responsibility for your growth, discipline, and direction. Ownership gives you authority over your journey. And once you embrace ownership, nothing can stand between you and your destiny. Becoming unstoppable requires waking up with purpose, because purpose directs your power towards something meaningful. Dwayne Johnson begins his days long before the sun rises, proving that purpose fuels discipline. You must anchor your mornings in intention, clarity, and determination. Purpose gives your actions meaning. Purpose makes sacrifice easier. Purpose strengthens your resilience. You must wake up every day knowing what you're fighting for. Purpose sharpens your focus and eliminates distractions. You must build a morning routine that sets your mind on fire. Purpose reminds you that each day is another chance to rise. You must claim your day before the world claims your attention. And once purpose becomes your morning fuel, you begin each day as the unstoppable force you were born to be. Becoming unstoppable requires embracing work ethic, because work ethic is the bridge between your dreams and your destiny. The Rock built his career through relentless effort, hours in the gym, hours on set, hours refining his craft. You must commit to working harder than your excuses. Work ethic separates the average from the extraordinary. You must treat your goals like responsibilities. You must work while others sleep. You must stay focused while others are distracted. You must keep improving while others stay comfortable. Work ethic is the root of confidence. It proves to you that you deserve success, and once your work ethic becomes unbreakable, your results become undeniable. Becoming unstoppable requires accepting that the journey will be lonely at times, because the path to greatness is not crowded. Dwayne Johnson spent many years grinding in silence, surrounded by uncertainty and doubt. You must understand that loneliness is part of the process. Not everyone will understand your mission. Not everyone will match your ambition. Not everyone will walk beside you. You must learn to stand strong even when no one else stands with you. Solitude builds character. Solitude builds clarity. Solitude builds warriors. You must embrace the quiet moments where transformation happens. And once you accept loneliness as part of greatness, you rise with a power that no crowd can give and no silence can take away. Becoming unstoppable requires building physical strength, not for appearance, but for discipline, endurance, and mental toughness. The Rock treats the gym, his sanctuary, a place to push, challenge, and rebuild himself daily. You must strengthen your body, because a strong body supports a strong mind. Physical discipline sharpens mental discipline. You must train not just for aesthetics, but for resilience. When you push your limits physically, you break limits mentally. Strength transforms your identity. Strength expands your confidence. Strength anchors your mindset. You must commit to movement, growth, and improvement. And once your body becomes strong, your spirit becomes unshakable. Becoming unstoppable requires learning from your past, not being controlled by it. Dwayne Johnson carried the pain of homelessness, failed dreams, and emotional struggle, yet refused to let it define him. You must turn your past into wisdom, not wounds. Your past prepared you. Your past strengthened you. Your past shaped you. You must stop reliving your mistakes and start remembering your lessons. The past is a reference, not a residence. You must carry forward only what serves you. Your past cannot stop you unless you cling to it. And once you release the grip of yesterday, your future becomes limitless. Becoming unstoppable requires developing emotional power, because emotional mastery determines how you rise under pressure. The Rock channels his emotions into action, strength, and creativity. You must learn to feel without falling apart. Emotional strength means understanding your feelings without being ruled by them. You must face your sadness with honesty. You must face your anger with control. You must face your fear with courage. Emotions are signals, not chains. Emotional power gives you clarity and confidence. You must strengthen your heart just as intensely as you strengthen your body. And once you master your emotions, you command your destiny. Becoming unstoppable requires grit, a kind of toughness that doesn't break under pressure. Dwayne Johnson developed grit in the harsher seasons of his life, where quitting was easy, but fighting was necessary. You must build grit by pushing through discomfort. Grit is born when you persist through struggle. Grit is strengthened when you rise after defeat. Grit separates the ordinary from the legendary. You must train your mind to keep going when your body wants to stop. Grit makes you unstoppable because it teaches you that you don't break, you bend, adapt, and continue. And once grit becomes your armor, nothing in life can destroy your momentum. Becoming unstoppable requires choosing gratitude, because gratitude keeps you grounded, focused, and hungry. The Rock expresses gratitude everywhere he goes toward his fans, his opportunities, his team, and the journey itself. You must appreciate what you have while working for what you want. Gratitude turns bitterness into peace. Gratitude strengthens your mindset. Gratitude eliminates entitlement. You must recognize how far you've come. You must honor the people who supported you. You must be thankful for the lessons that shaped you. Gratitude fuels joy. Gratitude fuels humility. Gratitude fuels greatness. And once gratitude becomes your constant companion, success becomes aligned with your soul. Becoming unstoppable requires controlling your environment, because your surroundings influence your focus, your habits, and your energy. Dwayne Johnson creates environments that support discipline, from his gym to his set to his mindset. You must protect your space from negativity. You must remove yourself from toxic people and draining environments. You must surround yourself with ambition, encouragement, and purpose. Your environment must reflect the person you're becoming. You must create spaces where your goals thrive. When you control your environment, you control your growth. And once your environment supports your mission, nothing can interrupt your rise. Becoming unstoppable requires choosing resilience every single day, because resilience is the muscle that carries you through adversity. The Rock faced rejection, heartbreak, career collapse, and financial struggle, yet he kept rising with greater determination. You must become resilient by refusing to surrender. Resilience gives you the strength to keep going when everything inside you wants to stop. You must rise after disappointment. You must rise after discouragement. You must rise after every failure. Resilience teaches your mind that giving up is never an option. It builds your identity as someone who endures, adapts, and conquers. And once resilience becomes part of your character, you become a force the world cannot break. Becoming unstoppable requires embracing hunger, the inner fire that pushes you to rise beyond your limits. Dwayne Johnson never forgot what it felt like to be broke, scared, and uncertain, and that hunger became the driving force behind his success. You must cultivate a hunger so powerful that comfort never seduces you. Hunger pushes you out of bed when excuses try to keep you down. Hunger fuels your ambition when your energy fades. Hunger keeps you sharp, focused, and determined. You must wake up each day with something to fight for. Hunger turns pain into power. Hunger turns struggle into momentum. Hunger keeps you moving forward even when the journey feels impossible. You must feed your hunger with purpose, discipline, and effort. And once hunger becomes your internal engine, you become unstoppable because you refuse to settle for anything less than greatness. Becoming unstoppable requires building a mindset of domination, not over others, but over your own weakness, doubt, and excuses. The Rock approaches every challenge with the intention to dominate it, not simply endure it. You must approach life with the same intensity. Domination means giving everything you have. It means refusing to half-step your effort. It means mastering your emotions, your habits, and your decisions. You must eliminate the gap between what you want and what you're willing to do. Domination builds confidence because you know you left nothing on the table. When you dominate your mindset, external obstacles lose their power. You must train your mind to attack your goals with relentless energy. And once domination becomes your standard, you rise beyond every limitation. Becoming unstoppable requires using your setbacks as fuel instead of reasons to quit. Dwayne Johnson faced countless setbacks, failed opportunities, broken dreams, and painful lessons, but each one pushed him to grow stronger. You must view setbacks as signals, not stop signs. Every setback contains a message. Every failure contains a lesson. Every disappointment contains wisdom. You must learn to dig into your setbacks and extract the strength they offer. Setbacks refine your character and strengthen your resolve. When you rise after a setback, you grow in ways success could never teach you. You must stop running from setbacks and start using them as tools for transformation. And once you turn setbacks into stepping stones, nothing can keep you from rising. Becoming unstoppable requires embracing the grind, the daily effort that most people avoid. The Rock is known for his relentless work ethic, training harder than most people can even imagine. You must embrace the grind as the price of greatness. The grind is where evolution happens. The grind is where excellence is built. The grind is where you prove your commitment. You must accept the discomfort, the repetition, and the discipline required for mastery. The grind strengthens your mind, your body, and your spirit. When you grind consistently, success becomes inevitable. You must fall in love with the process, not just the results. And once you embrace the grind, you rise into a version of yourself that no one can stop. Becoming unstoppable requires knowing your why, because your why is the force that keeps you moving through struggle. Dwayne Johnson's why, his family, his dreams, his future became the fuel for every rep, every scene, and every decision. You must choose a why strong enough to carry you through any storm. Your why gives you strength when you're tired. Your why gives you courage when you're afraid. Your why gives you resilience when you want to quit. You must remind yourself daily of who you're doing this for. Your why must burn inside your spirit like a fire that never fades. And once your why becomes unshakable, your belief in yourself becomes unbreakable. Becoming unstoppable requires mastering sacrifice, because success demands the willingness to let go of what no longer aligns with your mission. The Rock sacrificed comfort, relationships, habits, and opportunities that didn't support his growth. You must understand that sacrifice is part of the path. You cannot rise while clinging to what holds you back. You must give up distractions that drain your energy. You must release habits that weaken your discipline. You must remove yourself from environments that limit your potential. Sacrifice creates space for greatness. Sacrifice sharpens your focus. Sacrifice elevates your identity. And once you learn to sacrifice for your future self, you become unstoppable in your pursuit of success. Becoming unstoppable requires mastering your internal dialogue, because the voice inside you determines the power you carry outside you. Dwayne Johnson speaks to himself like a champion, reinforcing strength, courage, and grit. You must do the same. Your inner voice must be your greatest ally. You must silence the doubt that creeps into your mind. You must speak to yourself with authority. Your words shape your identity. Your identity shapes your behavior. Your behavior shapes your destiny. You must train your thoughts to reflect your strength, not your fear. And once your internal dialogue becomes powerful, you carry unstoppable energy into every challenge. Becoming unstoppable requires embracing humility, because humility keeps you grounded, disciplined, and hungry. The Rock, despite his fame and success, remains humble enough to learn, to grow, and to serve. You must stay humble no matter how far you rise. Humility keeps your mind open. Humility keeps your hunger alive. Humility keeps your ego in check. You must continue to study, improve, and evolve. Humility allows you to connect with others and inspire the world. You must never forget where you came from. And once humility becomes part of your character, you build a foundation strong enough to support your unstoppable rise. Becoming unstoppable requires surrounding yourself with people who elevate your standards, because your circle determines your energy, your habits, and your growth. Dwayne Johnson surrounds himself with high-level individuals who challenge him to evolve. You must choose your inner circle wisely. You must seek people who inspire your ambition. You must distance yourself from people who drain your potential. Your circle must reflect your mission. Your relationships must support your discipline. You must build a tribe of warriors who push you to rise. And once you surround yourself with excellence, you rise into excellence. Becoming unstoppable requires celebrating your progress, because acknowledging your growth strengthens your belief. The The Rock celebrates small wins as fiercely as large victories, understanding that progress builds momentum. You must learn to recognize your efforts. Celebrate your discipline. Celebrate your consistency. Celebrate your steps forward. Progress fuels confidence. Confidence fuels ambition. Ambition fuels mastery. You must honor every stride you take towards your goals. And once you celebrate your growth, you reinforce the unstoppable force you are becoming. Becoming unstoppable requires turning pressure into performance, because pressure reveals the greatness hidden within you. Dwayne Johnson thrives under pressure, using it as fuel rather than letting it crush him. You must learn to take pressure and channel it into focus, effort, and determination. Pressure is a sign that you're growing. Pressure means you're stepping into new territory. Pressure is the birthplace of champions. You must stop fearing pressure and start welcoming it. Pressure sharpens your instincts and strengthens your resolve. It pushes you to unlock power you didn't know you had. You must remind yourself that pressure is not punishment, it is preparation. And once you learn to turn pressure into performance, you rise into a level of greatness that nothing can hinder. Becoming unstoppable requires choosing courage repeatedly, because courage is the engine that drives every transformation. The Rock chose courage when he walked away from football, when he stepped into wrestling, and when he pursued acting. You must choose courage in every season of your life. Courage means acting despite fear. Courage means stepping into the unknown. Courage means trusting your potential more than your fears. You must decide to move forward even when the outcome is uncertain. Courage expands your world and strengthens your spirit. Every courageous decision deepens your confidence. And once courage becomes your default, nothing can intimidate you again. Becoming unstoppable requires staying grounded in gratitude for your beginnings, no matter how difficult they were. Dwayne Johnson never forgot where he came from, using his hardships as reminders of his strength. You must honor your beginnings with humility and appreciation. Your struggles shaped your resilience. Your challenges formed your wisdom. Your hardships built your character. You must carry gratitude in your heart even when life feels heavy. Gratitude keeps your ambition aligned with purpose. Gratitude reminds you that every step forward is a blessing. Gratitude helps you stay humble as you rise. And once gratitude becomes your foundation, your success becomes richer and more fulfilling. Becoming unstoppable requires mastering intense focus, because focus turns scattered energy into unstoppable momentum. The Rock focuses on one mission at a time with total commitment. You must eliminate distractions that steal your potential. Focus requires discipline. Focus requires clarity. Focus requires saying no more often than you say yes. You must prioritize what truly matters over what temporarily pleases. Focus magnifies your effort and multiplies your results. You must guard your attention like it is your greatest asset. And once focus becomes your weapon, you move towards your goals with unstoppable force. Becoming unstoppable requires embracing failure as feedback, because failure teaches you what success never will. Dwayne Johnson faced many failures, but each one refined his strategy and strengthened his resolve. You must treat failure as a teacher, not an enemy. Failure reveals weaknesses that need strengthening. Failure exposes habits that need improvement. Failure clarifies your direction. You must stop taking failure personally and start taking it constructively. Every failure moves you closer to mastery. You must rise after failure with greater purpose and intensity. And once failure becomes your guide, your journey becomes unstoppable. Becoming unstoppable requires recognizing that no one is coming to save you, because your success is your responsibility. The Rock understood that change began only when he took full ownership of his life. You must stop waiting for rescue, permission, or luck. You must become your own hero. You must become your own motivator. You must become your own source of strength. Taking responsibility gives you power. Responsibility puts you in control of your destiny. You must commit to building the life you desire with your own hands. And once you accept that your rise is up to you, nothing can delay your greatness. Becoming unstoppable requires staying in motion, because movement creates opportunities that stagnation never will. Dwayne Johnson kept moving, new roles, new challenges, new goals, always evolving. You must resist the urge to stay comfortable. Movement keeps you alive. Movement keeps you sharp. Movement keeps your momentum flowing. You must take steps forward even when you can't see the full path. Movement builds confidence. Movement creates breakthroughs. Movement aligns you with new possibilities. And once you embrace constant motion, your life becomes a series of unstoppable forward leaps. Becoming unstoppable requires respecting the process, because the journey shapes you long before the results appear. The Rock endured years of slow progress before the world recognized his greatness. You must trust your process even when results seem distant. The process molds your character. The process tests your discipline. The process strengthens your endurance. You must resist the desire for shortcuts. Shortcuts weaken you. The process refines you. Every day you commit to the process, you evolve. And once you respect the process, your success becomes inevitable. Becoming unstoppable requires building unbreakable habits, because habits shape your destiny more than motivation ever will. Dwayne Johnson's habits training, discipline, focus, gratitude became the pillars of his success. You must build habits that align with your highest self. Habits create consistency. Habits create excellence. Habits create identity. You must reinforce habits that build your strength, stability, and growth. Your habits determine your future long before your dreams manifest. You must commit to daily habits that pull you toward greatness. And once habits become your foundation, success becomes a natural extension of who you are. Becoming unstoppable requires choosing the future over the past, because your destiny is built by your actions today, not your mistakes yesterday. Dwayne Johnson didn't let his struggles define him, he used them to propel him. You must release the weight of what happened before. Your past cannot hold you unless you hold on to it. You must prioritize your future with boldness and intention. Your future deserves your full energy, focus, and commitment. You must step forward with a vision bigger than your fears. Every moment you choose your future, you weaken the grip of your past. And once you choose your future wholeheartedly, you become unstoppable in your rise. Becoming unstoppable requires refusing to negotiate with your excuses, because excuses are the chains that keep your potential locked in place. Dwayne Johnson learned early that excuses don't move you. Forward-only action does. You must stop giving your excuses the power to control your future. Excuses are comfortable but destructive. Excuses keep you small, while your soul knows you are meant for greatness. You must recognize excuses the moment they appear and crush them with discipline. Your excuses cannot coexist with your destiny. You must act even when conditions are imperfect. You must move forward even when motivation is low. You must demand more from yourself than your excuses allow. Every time you defeat an excuse, you strengthen your identity. Excuses fade when your purpose grows. And once you eliminate excuses from your life, nothing can slow your rise. Becoming unstoppable requires embracing responsibility for your energy, because your energy determines your progress, your decisions, and your impact. The Rock protects his energy like a priceless asset, because he knows his energy shapes everything he creates. You must guard your mental, emotional, and physical energy with intention. Energy flows where your focus goes. You must surround yourself with uplifting people. You must invest in habits that strengthen your power. You must release anything that drains your spirit. Your energy affects your confidence, your discipline, and your destiny. You must fuel your energy with purpose, passion, and intensity. And once you take full ownership of your energy, you elevate every area of your life. Becoming unstoppable requires pushing past the limits you once thought were unbreakable, because your limits are illusions created by fear. Dwayne Johnson breaks his limits daily physically, mentally, and professionally. You must challenge the boundaries you've placed around yourself. Limits dissolve when you confront them. Limits weaken when you push through them. Limits vanish when you outgrow them. You must stop assuming you've reached your capacity. You must stop believing old stories about what you can or cannot do. You must test yourself continually. Growth begins where comfort ends, and once you break your limits, you realize you were unstoppable all along. Becoming unstoppable requires generating your own momentum, because momentum is the force that carries you toward greatness. The rock stays in momentum by taking massive action day after day. You must build momentum through consistent effort. Momentum grows when you begin before you're ready. Momentum strengthens when you keep moving. Momentum multiplies when you refuse to stop. You must take the first step even when the future feels uncertain. Momentum turns fear into confidence. Momentum turns hesitation into power. Momentum turns small actions into massive results. And once momentum becomes your companion, success follows you naturally. Becoming unstoppable requires embracing discipline in the dark, because true growth happens when no one is watching. Dwayne Johnson built his legacy in the unseen hours, early mornings, late nights, and relentless repetition. You must commit to excellence even when applause is absent. Discipline in the dark creates results in the light. You must be loyal to your goals when no one else sees your effort. You must grind without validation. You must push without recognition. You must rise without praise. These unseen hours shape your strength. These silent moments forge your greatness. And once you master discipline in the dark, the world will witness the unstoppable force you've become. Becoming unstoppable requires rewiring your self-image, because how you see yourself determines how far you go. The Rock didn't achieve greatness by accident. He saw himself as powerful, capable, and destined for impact. You must build a self-image that aligns with your future, not your past. Your self-image controls your habits. Your self-image controls your confidence. Your self-image controls your results. You must stop seeing yourself as broken and start seeing yourself as becoming. You must talk to yourself like someone worthy of greatness. You must treat yourself like someone destined for more. And once you upgrade your self-image, your entire life begins to rise. Becoming unstoppable requires embracing structure, because structure creates stability and stability creates progress. Dwayne Johnson structures his days with intention, training, work, improvement, gratitude, and purpose. You must bring structure into your life so your goals become predictable outcomes. Structure eliminates chaos. Structure strengthens discipline. Structure organizes your energy. You must map your days around your priorities, not your impulses. Structure ensures you do what needs to be done. It creates consistency even when motivation fades. And once structure becomes part of your life, your progress accelerates effortlessly. Becoming unstoppable requires refusing to shrink yourself to fit the expectations of others, because shrinking kills your potential. The Rock stands tall physically, mentally, and spiritually, never apologizing for his ambition. You must stop dimming your light to make others comfortable. Your greatness is not a threat, it is an inspiration. You must honor the power inside you. You must express your gifts boldly. You must take up space without hesitation. Shrinking serves no purpose. Playing small serves no mission. You must rise with confidence, intensity, and presence. And once you stop shrinking, you unlock a version of yourself that the world cannot ignore. Becoming unstoppable requires finding joy in the struggle, because the struggle is where champions are made. Dwayne Johnson embraces the difficulty, knowing it's shaping him into a stronger, wiser, more powerful version of himself. You must stop viewing struggle as suffering and start viewing it as training. The struggle strengthens your spirit. The struggle builds your character. The struggle refines your purpose. You must lean into the discomfort. You must smile at the adversity. You must embrace the growth hidden inside the pain. Joy emerges when you realize the struggle is sculpting your greatness. And once you find joy in the struggle, nothing in life can break you. Becoming unstoppable requires remembering that everything begins with a choice, the choice to rise, the choice to fight, the choice to become more than your circumstances. The Rock's entire life changed the moment he decided enough was enough. You must make that choice for yourself. You must choose growth. You must choose discipline. You must choose belief. You must choose resilience. Your future begins the moment you choose transformation. Your destiny begins the moment you choose strength. Your greatness begins the moment you choose yourself. And once you make that choice, the universe rises to meet your ambition. Becoming unstoppable requires building a relationship with discomfort, because discomfort is the doorway to every breakthrough we'll ever experience. Dwayne Johnson doesn't avoid discomfort, he seeks it, knowing it molds him into something greater. You must stop choosing the easy path that keeps you stagnant. Discomfort stretches your limits. Discomfort builds your character. Discomfort forces your growth. You must embrace the moments that challenge your patience, confidence, and resilience. Every discomfort you conquer strengthens your identity. You must welcome discomfort as the price of greatness. You must train your mind to see discomfort as opportunity. And once you become comfortable being uncomfortable, you rise into a version of yourself that nothing can stop. Becoming unstoppable requires elevating your standards, because your standards determine the quality of your life. The Rock doesn't settle for good enough. He expects excellence from himself in every area. You must raise the standards that guide your behavior, choices, and discipline. Standards shape your habits. Standards shape your mindset. Standards shape your future. You must expect more from yourself than anyone else expects from you. Higher standards lead to higher results. You must refuse to tolerate laziness, negativity, or half-hearted effort. Your standards must reflect your destiny, not your comfort zone. And once you elevate your standards, your entire life begins to rise. Becoming unstoppable requires mastering emotional endurance, because success demands the ability to stay strong even in moments of emotional chaos. Dwayne Johnson has faced heartbreak, loss, and intense pressure, yet his emotional endurance allowed him to keep rising. You must build the strength to stay calm in storms. Emotional endurance helps you think clearly under stress. Emotional endurance keeps you grounded when everything feels overwhelming. You must practice patience, resilience, and self-control. You must learn to breathe through the struggle. Emotional endurance gives you the advantage because it keeps you steady when others crumble. You must train your emotions just as intensely as your body. And once emotional endurance becomes your armor, nothing can destabilize your mission. Becoming unstoppable requires cultivating unstoppable belief, because belief fuels every action, every step, and every breakthrough. Dwayne Johnson believed in himself long before the world believed in him. You must build belief like a muscle through repetition and daily reinforcement. Belief gives you courage. Belief gives you clarity. Belief gives you strength. You must reject the doubts that try to sabotage your future. You must speak to yourself with authority and power. You must build belief through action, consistency, and discipline. Belief transforms impossible into inevitable. And once belief becomes your mindset, you become a force the world cannot deny. Becoming unstoppable requires learning to pivot when life demands it, because adaptability ensures survival and success. The Rock pivoted when football ended, pivoted when wrestling evolved, and pivoted when Hollywood called. You must stop resisting change and start embracing it with courage. Pivoting is not quitting, it is adjusting your direction to align with your destiny. Adaptability keeps you flexible and sharp. Flexibility opens new opportunities. You must shift your strategy when necessary without losing your mission. Pivoting keeps you alive in a world that changes constantly. And once you master the art of pivoting, you evolve faster than any obstacle in your path. Becoming unstoppable requires honoring your commitments, because greatness is built on the promises you keep to yourself. Dwayne Johnson commits to his goals with unmatched loyalty, treating his promises as sacred. You must take your commitment seriously. Every broken commitment weakens your identity. Every kept commitment strengthens your confidence. You must show yourself that your word matters. Commitment turns intention into action. Commitment builds consistency. Commitment earns results. You must commit even when motivation fades. And once commitment becomes your nature, success becomes your destiny. Becoming unstoppable requires harnessing the power of visualization, because seeing your future clearly helps you build it confidently. The Rock visualized every level of his evolution before he lived it. You must picture your success vividly and powerfully. Visualization programs your mind for achievement. Visualization strengthens belief. Visualization aligns your subconscious with your goals. You must spend time every day imagining the life you are building. You must see yourself winning before you win. When your mind accepts your future, your actions follow naturally. And once visualization becomes part of your routine, you start moving like someone destined for greatness. Becoming unstoppable requires distinguishing between rest and quitting, because rest rejuvenates you, while quitting destroys your potential. Dwayne Johnson rests strategically, never allowing rest to become stagnation. You must understand that rest is essential for long-term success. Rest rebuilds your strength. Rest renews your mind. Rest restores your passion. You must allow yourself to recover without losing your momentum. You must take breaks intentionally, not impulsively. Rest prepares you for greater challenges. You must know when to push and when to recharge. And once you master the balance of rest and resilience, your progress becomes unstoppable. Becoming unstoppable requires removing the fear of judgment, because judgment is irrelevant to a focused, disciplined warrior. The Rock is admired worldwide because he never shaped his identity around other people's opinions. You must stop letting the fear of judgment dictate your decisions. People will judge you whether you rise or fail. Judgment cannot stop your mission unless you give it power. You must live for your purpose, not the approval of others. Fear of judgment is a cage. Your destiny is the key. You must value your growth more than public opinion. And once you remove the fear of judgment, you walk with confidence that cannot be shaken. Becoming unstoppable requires choosing greatness repeatedly, because greatness is not a moment, it is a lifestyle. Every day, Dwayne Johnson chooses discipline, gratitude, effort, and evolution. You must choose greatness even when it feels easier to choose comfort. Greatness requires consistency. Greatness requires sacrifice. Greatness requires courage. You must live like someone who is building a legacy. You must step into your potential with intention. You must act in alignment with the future you want. And once greatness becomes your choice, your identity transforms into something truly unstoppable. Becoming unstoppable requires embracing your identity as a warrior, because warriors rise regardless of the obstacles thrown in their path. Dwayne Johnson forged his warrior spirit through hardship, discipline, and unwavering resilience. You must see yourself as someone who refuses to be defeated. Warrior does not back down from challenges, they charge into them with purpose. A warrior does not crumble under pressure, they grow stronger because of it. You must adopt the mindset that everything you face is preparing you for something greater. Warriors understand that every battle builds power. You must carry your scars with pride, because they are proof of your strength. A warrior spirit cannot be broken, it can only evolve. You must treat your goals like your battlefield. You must step forward with courage, intensity, and conviction. You must walk as someone who knows victory is inevitable. And once you embrace your warrior identity, your rise becomes unstoppable. Becoming unstoppable requires embracing massive action, because action creates opportunities that thinking alone never will. The Rock is a machine of relentless action. He moves, he builds, he pushes, he executes. you must adopt the same bias toward action. Every action you take pushes you closer to your destiny. Every action builds momentum. Every action creates results. You must stop waiting for the perfect time and start creating your own timing. Action destroys fear. Action strengthens confidence. Action separates dreamers from achievers. You must take bold steps, even when you feel uncertain. And once action becomes your habit, success becomes your shadow. Becoming unstoppable requires understanding that success is earned, not given. Dwayne Johnson earned every ounce of his success through sweat, discipline, and sacrifice. You must reject the illusion of overnight success. You must embrace the truth that greatness takes work. Earned success lasts longer. Earned success builds stronger foundations. Earned success strengthens your identity. You must wake up, ready to earn your progress each day. You must treat your goals like responsibilities, not fantasies. When you earn your success, it becomes part of who you are. And once you understand this truth, you never stop climbing. Becoming unstoppable requires learning to silence the noise around you, because noise distracts you from your purpose. The rock tunes out negativity, criticism, and doubt, focusing only on what moves him forward. You must learn to filter the voices in your life. Some voices motivate you, some voices drain you. You must recognize the difference. You must silence all noise that doesn't contribute to your growth. Noise weakens focus. Noise confuses purpose. Noise delays progress. You must tune into your inner strength instead. And once you silence the noise, your clarity becomes your superpower. Becoming unstoppable requires choosing resilience every time you fall, because resilience is the foundation of every comeback story. Dwayne Johnson built his empire on resilience. Every setback became another reason to rise. You must rise every time life knocks you down. Resilience is staying committed when results are slow. Resilience is pushing forward when your heart feels heavy. Resilience is believing in yourself when no one else does. You must train your spirit to bounce back stronger. Resilience is the heartbeat of greatness. Without resilience, success cannot survive. And once resilience becomes who you are, nothing can stop who you are becoming. Becoming unstoppable requires sharpening your purpose with intensity, because intensity turns good intentions into powerful execution. The Rock moves with purpose in everything he does, from training to acting to building businesses. You must move with intention. Intention directs your energy. Intention strengthens your actions. Intention elevates your performance. You must attack your goals with intensity instead of hesitation. Intensity creates momentum. Intensity speeds up results. Intensity helps you break through barriers. You must choose intensity when others choose comfort. And once intensity becomes your standard, success accelerates toward you. Becoming unstoppable requires mastering consistency in chaos, because chaos is where most people fall apart. Dwayne Johnson remains consistent regardless of stress, schedules, or challenges. You must remain disciplined even when life becomes unpredictable. Consistency in chaos builds unbreakable character. Consistency in chaos separates the strong from the average. You must show up on the hard days. You must stay committed when life tests your patience. Chaos reveals your true dedication. You must anchor yourself in your habits. And once you remain consistent through chaos, nothing can disrupt your destiny. Becoming unstoppable requires expecting greatness from yourself before the world sees it, because belief precedes recognition. The Rock expected greatness long before fame found him. You must believe in your greatness even when it feels far away. Expectation shapes your behavior. Expectation elevates your actions. Expectation strengthens your discipline. You must carry yourself like someone destined for impact. Expecting greatness aligns you with opportunities. It forces you to rise to your standards. And once you expect greatness from yourself, greatness becomes your natural direction. Becoming unstoppable requires treating every day like day one, because day one energy keeps you hungry, powerful, and driven. The Rock often talks about his day one mentality, a mindset of staying grounded while striving for more. You must avoid becoming complacent. You must treat each day as a fresh opportunity to grow. Day one energy makes you unstoppable. Day one energy keeps you sharp. Day one energy keeps you evolving. You must approach every challenge with beginner's hunger and veteran's discipline. And once you live with day one energy, your journey never stagnates. Becoming unstoppable requires owning your story, because your story is your power. Dwayne Johnson took the hardest parts of his life and turned them into the foundation of his greatness. You must embrace your story, every struggle, every failure, every triumph. Your story is your strength. Your story is your advantage. Your story is your weapon. You must stop hiding the chapters that shaped you. You must understand that your past is proof of your resilience. You must stand tall knowing you survived what was meant to break you. And once you own your story, you own your destiny. You have now traveled through the mindset, grit, discipline, hunger, and unstoppable spirit that transformed Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson from a man with $7 in his pocket into one of the most powerful forces on the planet. You've learned that beginnings don't define you, your actions do. You've learned that hardship doesn't break you, it builds you. You've learned that consistency, resilience, belief, and discipline can reshape your entire life. You have everything you need within you to rise. You have the strength. You have the courage. You have the fire. All that remains is your decision. The decision to rise. The decision to transform. The decision to become unstoppable. And that decision begins right now. If this message lit a fire inside you, let that fire grow. Subscribe to Daily Global Motivation so your mind, spirit, and discipline grow stronger every day. Like this video to show the world you're choosing strength, ambition, and purpose. Comment your declaration of unstoppable commitment. Let your words mark the beginning of your rise. Share this message with someone you believe is capable of greatness, because the world needs more unstoppable souls. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your rise. Become unstoppable.